Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 11th episode of This Week in Monstercat. This is the podcast where me and a bunch of my friends just talk about what's happened this week in Monstercat. And I'd like to start off by apologizing for how late I uploaded the last week's episode. I uploaded it like a day before we're recording this one. I meant to upload it the day after recording it, so that was pretty bad. But I was just lazy and blame Pete. I don't even know if it was Pete's fault. It was someone's fault, but I just kept forgetting to do it. Because I normally do it just before going to bed, and I found myself like in bed at like 11 o'clock, and then be like, shit, I'm gonna do that, and be like, well, I just sleep. Anyway, this week we don't have Pete because what's he doing?
He has family.
He has some family bullshit
stuff.
Family sucks. Anyway, we've got Pete. No, I just said we don't have Pete. We do not have Pete, but we do have Jake. Who doesn't even nearly make up for him, but and we've got Xavier, who more than makes up for it. So, oh yeah. I mean, Xavier's the best conversationalist on this podcast, I'd say. Totally. With the lack of Pete talking much, you'll certainly be able to fill that role. But this week, we have got a bunch of stuff to get through. 4 tracks instead of 3. We have Back to the Start by Stonebank, which is his house track, which is sort of weird for him to make a house track. We've got the first release of Hush's new EP that's going to be coming out called Hush-Eenhoorn, I think, which, funny enough, means unicorn in Dutch. We've got the Puppet and Peirce Fultron song called Just You, which is not Boy and the Beast. And we've got the new Tokyo Machine song, Pixel. And I think we might just get into it by starting off with Back to Start by Stonebank, which is a really weird name. But, I guess we'll just start off by...
once.
Yeah. Yeah, he says it once at the very start and then at the end, and it just doesn't sound right to hear Back to Start this. But... we'll start off by talking about Stonebank in more general terms. Do we all like Stonebank as an artist?
Yes, he's a hobby.
Very, very much so.
He's
probably in like top 15.
Yeah, like his heavy stuff. Like what was his prime time? Probably 18
for the Monument EP?
18 to 19. They were great.
18 through to like the Monument EP, I think was all really good.
Yeah, and that was before
I like this hard stuff.
Doing shit.
I don't think he's been too great ever since All Night.
Yeah,
because he's had good songs.
Yeah.
But he's had the Happy Hardcore one, and he's had...
That one's good, though. I like that one.
It's catchy, it's really catchy, and it doesn't have the cancer sound, but, it's still not that great. But I don't think any of us are going to be arguing over his best stuff is always his Electro and his Glitch Hop.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's so good.
This
Stuff
Glitch Hop is probably his best.
Moving On, Holding On to Sound, Chokehold,
Chokehold.
But his bass house is pretty good too. His bass house can be really good. Like, what's a really good bass house one that was on Monument?
Finally, Another Day.
Lost Without You is really good.
Yeah. And Another Day is Glitch Hop.
It's not very good though. Another Day is but he also made that D&B song. I wish he'd make more D&B because that song had heaps of potential.
Ready was amazing.
It could. I don't know. The thing about it is, it could have been so good, but it was really repetitive, which sucked. But what it was repeating was like some of the best drum and bass I've ever heard. So that's okay. But I would love for him to come out with another Neuro style track because that was so good. Ready is just, that song's great.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so this song, Back to Start, like I mentioned earlier, it's house. And I don't think any of us would be expecting a house track to be released from Stonebank at all. But, I mean, it's better than hardstyle, so I'm happy with that.
Anything's better than hardstyle.
What about Stonebank Future Bass, Xavier?
Well, funnily enough, I think that's the only genre of Monstercat that he hasn't actually made.
Really?
And like indie dance and new disco. Yeah, it's future-based indie dance and new disco. He hasn't made any of those, but he's made everything else now.
Because he did trance for the...
I mean, he hasn't made deep house though.
No, this is kind of deep house. Kind of.
It's not. It's more like normal house than deep house.
Yeah.
He's
but
made like every other genre. He's made drum step, dubstep, D&B, fucking trance. A lot of hardcore.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah. but like we said earlier, the name of the song grammatically makes very little sense. Back to start is a bit dumb, but as for the actual song itself, like this seems like one of those songs where pretty much everything except the drop isn't really that important, and I don't feel like he put that much effort into everything outside of the drop, because, you know, like the intro and the mid-second, the outro, it's sort of just like piano and pretty basic backing and just stuff that's meant to complement that's not a word. A compliment's not a word. To complement the vocals, but not really, you know, do anything by itself. And so, you know, it's just sort of, besides the drop, I feel like listening to this song is just sort of going through the paces. It's not really that. Yeah,
it's actually. I think the first minute of the song is shit. Honestly.
Yeah, it's just like vocals and piano and.
But then, like exactly 1 minute in, the beat comes in, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, but yeah, this is definitely one of those songs where the drop is the biggest. You know, it's the reason you're listening to the song. You're not listening to it for. I'm sure some people would listen to it for the vocals, but that's not me. Talking about the vocals, they're pretty poppy for like 90% of them, and 90% of it's pretty bad. But there are these little bits where the pitch kind of like goes up in steps, which is actually a pretty cool thing to do with your voice. And I don't know, it sort of shows that this guy, though he's singing in this really poppy, generic way, he does have some sort of talent with his voice, so I'd probably like to hear him explored more, but he, as a whole, the vocals are sort of just a bit poppy and a bit generic. I could really imagine it going with, like, what's his name? Martin Garrix? Like, I could really imagine it being, like, in one of his songs or something. I mean, if you like Martin Garrix and that sort of stuff, no issues there. It's not my thing. Do you guys like the vocals or have any strong opinions on them?
No.
No. I mean, I really like the vocals. It's just, I didn't think they sounded too generic. It's just the drop. I didn't really have a problem with it. It's just I could kind of piece together how it like sounded a bit more like I could hear elements from other artists. So it just was a little generic, but the whistling and the drop was a little gave it uniqueness.
Yeah. But as for the drop,
it would be better if they were Emil's vocals.
Yeah.
Sure. Eagle Eyes.
Not the best, but great.
I don't like Eagle Eyes. Anyway, talking about the drop of this song, it is
great
really
because it sounds like Vicestone.
It actually does a bit.
Vicestone are easily the best house producers on Monstercat.
Oh,
because
I don't know. Like it's a throw up for me between Rich Edwards and Vicestone. Well, I don't know. Can you count Rootkit as a house producer?
Yeah. Well,
but like, I mean, are you talking progressive house?
I'm talking like standard generic house, like
Hellberg. so like you know, quote unquote progressive house, like Hellberg. Yeah. Vicestone and Rich Edwards are sort of tossing up between me because I don't know. Rich Edwards, you know, he has stuff like Inferno and
that's hot.
Inferno's so good. But stuff like that, and I'm trying to remember his other stuff I liked, because I know the ones I don't like are We Are. We Are's bad, and there's one other I don't like, but almost all of his tracks I pretty much enjoy, and Vicestone, I don't know them that well, but I know I really enjoyed their most recent song. Which one was that?
Nevada.
What was it called? It was like...
Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, Nevada and Harmony and the one on 20 are all good.
Yeah, which one was 20?
I think it was like, what have you been waiting for or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that had like a music video and everything. It had a lot of hype behind it. That was a good one. Yeah, I like that one. But, as for the drop of the song...
like 3 of their releases have music videos in.
Yeah, I guess they still... I don't know, they must be popular outside of Monstercat, so they get, you know, more budget. But... yeah, it has that really cool deep house / future house sort of sound with these really heavy hitting piano chords in the drop, which is really nice. That's something I always I just love deep house. It's such a great genre. And it's all generic. It all sounds the same, but I fucking love it. And on top of that deep house, future housey sound, there's this thing. I think it's a vocal chop. You know, it sounds a little like a low pitched whistle or vocals or something. But whatever it is, I really like it. It's awesome. And do you guys like that too?
I got no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know, like, you know, like the whistle thing over the drop, like the, I don't know, there's like two parts of the drop. There's like the deep house thing, and then there's like the whistle thing.
It makes it sound not as generic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, it's still a pretty generic sound. Like, I could totally imagine this song being on the radio, you know, being like a mainstream
Yeah, that's
radio.
all I was gonna say.
But like, I don't know, I still really, I don't think
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, that one, yeah, that noise.
yeah, I don't think it's like a really outstanding song or like a really crazy good song, but it's one I enjoy, and you know, it'd go down really well at a party or something. Not that I'm really the kind of guy to go to parties, but you know, like of party type music.
What are you talking about, Mika?
Oh yeah, I'm such a
party animal.
I am a party animal. Only not at all. But no, like it's got a good energy to it, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But towards the second half of the drop, it sort of changes by adding this vocal chop, which repeats left me over the main deep house whistling, all that stuff. Yeah, and the vocal chop, the main like whistling vocal chop in the second half of the drop sort of drops down in pitch a bit, and the main chord progression of the deep housey piano stuff gets modified to climb up a bit higher than it did earlier, and that's all good. That's all you know, keeping the drop a little less repetitive, more interesting. And yeah, and the drop just, I don't know, progresses well, and it's nice. So you both fans of the drop, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the part that I like better.
Yeah,
It's
like
the best part of the song.
it's not one of those house songs where I'm like, it doesn't remind me of Strung Out, because that was a house song where I was like, all right, this is a great song. I don't think this is a, you know, really great song, but it's still a really enjoyable song. I don't even know what Strung Out was, but it was something.
The deep house.
And it was.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Damn, Rootkit's house is just, it's so good. Concrete Jungle, everything except Elevate, I love, and Elevate
is awful. Elevate is an absolutely terrible song.
It's
like,
kind of cool.
Really annoying.
Like
Everything
The drop is really annoying.
It's
like,
just so repetitive. It's so.
I remember,
yes,
like a few weeks ago, I listened to it and I was like, you know what, this isn't that bad. And like 5 seconds before it was about to drop, the main melody of the drop started coming in. I was like, oh, I remember why I hate this song now. Yeah.
Ah shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, but after the first drop ends, there's another, you know, just vocally part. It's just, you know, another pretty forgettable section which has vocals and, you know, just backing, which is designed to accompany the vocals and not really be that great by itself. And, you know, like I said earlier, everything that isn't the drop sort of just feels like an afterthought, which, I mean, that's sort of what the songs is. It's all about the drop, and that's fine, so I'm not really that mad about it, but it's like, you know, you could always put more effort in the rest of the song to make it a good listening experience throughout the entire thing, instead of a okay listening experience, then a really good listening experience, then okay, you know, but it's still fine. And I guess I probably should have expected this to come from a house track, but it always does disappoint me because the second drop is either identical to the first or too similar for me to notice the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm fairly certain it's the same.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world because what it repeats I still really
good.
like, but it does suck. And the song would have gone from being really good, like I think it is now, to being great if these two drops had both been different. But still a really good song. Not Stonebank's best work by far, but it is a massive change of sound for him. But yeah, it's still cool, and I still enjoy it. And I feel like you guys
another genre to add to the list of genres that he's made.
Yeah, now he just needs what?
Future bass, really.
Yeah, I think I heard someone mention that he was doing something.
Yeah, I think it was like Pete on one of the news segments a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that would be. Well, I mean, he's got so much variation in his sound. I can imagine it working. But what was the other genre he hadn't made?
Like indie dance and new disco.
Indie dance and new disco.
Then breaks, chill out.
He hasn't made chill.
Yeah. He
should
might be able to make chill. I don't know. I don't really know Stonebank.
Like
all I know he can do.
Genres on Monstercat, though.
The only thing I know he can do is, you know, electro and glitch hop. I know if he puts out a glitch hop or electro song, it's probably gonna be good. And everything else is like I don't even know, but hopefully it'll be good. And yeah, but do you guys have anything else to say on that one?
No.
Yeah, in all honesty, there isn't that much to say on it. It's a pretty basic and repetitive song, but you know, we still like it. but yeah, the next track is Hush-Eenhoorn by Hush.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Seems like we've got conflicting opinions right off the bat.
Yeah.
How do we each feel about Hush? As for me, I think he's really cool. I think
Well, he just like came out of nowhere and he was like,
Yeah,
here's an EP of like 5 tracks. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he had Fopspin, and then he had an EP with Fopspin in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a pretty original artist. Like he's one of those people that uses the generic future-based sounds quite a lot, but he structures them
style.
in original ways. Yeah.
He has a unique style,
And
and also the whole Dutch naming thing is really cool.
yeah.
How all
By the
these
way,
songs are Dutch
yeah.
words.
Yeah, in Dutch, it's all those things have different. I'm sure tentacle means tentacle. This means
Yeah.
unicorn. Fopspin. What does that
His
mean?
atmosphere.
Atmosphere. Right. Yeah. I don't know. That's
And then
cool.
Vonk is Spark, I think.
Huh. But yeah, that EP is pretty good. Like it's. I don't think there are any songs on it where I'm like, maybe excluding Tentacle, which I really really like. I don't think there are any other ones which I'm like, all right, this is an incredible song. But most of them, all of them, I genuinely
It's
enjoy,
good.
and I think are
It's
good.
not a waste of space.
Yeah,
which is
like
always
a lot
nice.
of future bass just feels expendable. Like, you know, it's good, but
Yeah.
doesn't need to be here. Like, there are a couple of future bass artists where I'm like, all right, you really are doing something interesting with future bass. That's this guy. I was about to say Dion Timmer for a second. No, Dion Custom. Dion Custom's
Dion
doing
Custom's
something
good.
pretty cool with future bass, like, especially Aloha. It's pretty fun.
Oh, and
It's
the one
pretty funky song.
high wire future bass track as well.
Yeah, but there are a lot of future bass things where it's like, all right, come on, you don't like. What's his
need
name?
to not.
Smile. Is that his name? It's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
song, but you don't need a. It's like so unneeded.
I'd rather something else. I'd rather like a terrible Pegboard Nerds dubstep song.
Yeah, well, I guess they're always interesting. At some.
They're always
some way.
fun to talk about.
They are, yeah. It's always great to yell at things, but
Like you, Mika.
exactly. But so Xavier, we all know you hate future bass, but it sounds like you don't really
Oh,
hate Hush.
Oh no, Hush is good. 'Cause
Hush is good.
Damp Cream reminds me of SpongeBob. I don't know why. But it just kind of does.
Well,
And that's
everyone
coming
loves
from
SpongeBob.
someone who never watched SpongeBob as a kid as well. So,
Oh, mate, SpongeBob
Yeah.
is some
Um,
good shit.
but this song, the intro, the build up, it's so cool, and it sounds like it's going to be
It's awesome.
something like Vissimus, where
Yeah.
it's just like the most
Yeah.
subtle. It just kind of drops. And you're like, oh, okay.
And you
It
do,
takes-
and when this song does drop, you're like, oh, okay, but in a very different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes almost 3 minutes. I timed
Yeah.
it. It takes 2 minutes and 49 seconds to drop. And when it does drop, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
I think
get
it's
to that.
actually
We'll get to that.
I think it's actually the most it's the most disappointing drop I can recall in recent memory because the intro is so cool, but then the drop's
Yeah.
just the most generic. It's like other than the vocal chop, it's actually the most generic future bass I think I've ever heard. But it's because of that vocal chop that
Nah,
it sounds
mate,
like.
it's way
Hush.
more original than like Halo, or like On My Way Up.
But it just the build up's so cool, and that
Yeah.
melody that sounds like Lilith that like comes in.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But
that shit's
I must
awesome.
say, the first time I heard this song, it very much took me by surprise. In more than just one way. And like, who would have thought that Hush would make like an almost horror themed song? It's, I mean, at least the first half, it's very horror themed.
Yeah,
and it's
the
like,
first half.
I could not have, I could predict this from very and easily. This could come out of I probably would have expected this to come out of almost any artist more than I would from Hush. But then again, Hush has made music which is darker and lower tempo, like
Tentacle.
Tentacle, which is so good. Yeah, this one, I don't know, it's very cool. I like it. But so it's starts off with this, like I said, just incredibly unexpectedly unsettling intro. It's got a very slow and progressive intro that has this melody that sounds a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean like a lot. Like the intro of Lilith by Varian. Like, listen to the two of them. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary how
Just
similar they
skip
sound.
30 seconds through into this one and just listen to the start of Lilith. The one in Lilith, the melody in Lilith is a bit deeper, but other than that,
Yeah, I'm not one to call plagiarism. I'm not going to say this is plagiarism, but it is just really interesting how similar they are. But yeah, it has that sort of very creepy music box sound. And the intro has like these background noises of waves coming in, and it has like the crackling of a record player, you know, under that creepy melody, which sort of all adds that strange and creepy atmosphere. And the intro sort of just continues like this for a while until it sort of, there are a couple minor additions, like a bass line backing to the melody, which is added. And then out of nowhere, sort of these really weird alien-y sounding synth things come in and sort of drowns out the rest of the song with white noise. I honestly, like, I didn't know how to describe it, so I was just like, aliens! It's like, it's just weird. It's a very strange sound, but it's sort of like, when that comes in, it sort of takes the rest of the song out and replaces it with some other stuff. And then sort of, out of nowhere, the song gets like really, really dramatic, it has like these backing strings, and it gets really, really like anxious and like spooky and shit. And then this melody comes in, which like every time I hear it, it takes me back to Stranger Things, which I watched on Netflix, and it's just like, it's got that synth 80s sort of Nightmare on Elm Street sound, and it's I don't know, it's really cool. It's got that sort of like little bit of cheesy but still quite sort of spooky and shit. It's really cool. But yeah, after that sort of really spooky melody that really does take me back to like 80s stuff, there is this, you know, dark and foreboding backing, which is just building and building and building. And the song just doesn't stop getting weirder as there's this really distorted voice that, you know, I don't think it's made to sound like human, but what it does say, I think it says either, "Won't you be my baby," or "Won't you be my Eenhoorn?" But, you know, in all entirety, I have absolutely no clue what he's saying. It just sounds a little bit like,
won't you be my something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's baby. I think it's "Won't you be my baby," but it would also make sense if it was "Won't you be my Eenhoorn," because that's what the song's called. But then sort of with practically no prompting, this much higher pitched sort of future bass sounding chord progression comes in, which
that's in like all these other songs.
Yeah, and then it has this very, very, very typical Hush sound build up, which is just like a rising note, and I swear it's what he uses for all of his build ups. And then just like that, the song's future bass is just like with the press of a button, the song goes from being like some of the darkest, like, you know, most anxious, spooky stuff I've heard on Monstercat to just all of the other Hush stuff. It's so strange. It's honestly like they took, you know, something from My Prayers Have Become Ghosts and then cut Damp Kring into the middle of it. It's like, what are you doing? But it's, I know Xavier isn't a big fan of that, but it's just the intro's so damn awesome. I don't know why this intro's in a Hush song. It would fit better in a Varian track, but you know, considering how much I like Varian, that is probably quite a big compliment to Hush as an artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to assume that you both like this intro quite a lot.
Very much so.
Yeah,
like,
it's awesome.
I don't even hate the drop that if the build-up was like 20 seconds long, I wouldn't even hate the drop that much. But I don't want to listen to a 3-minute long build-up for a generic future-based drop.
Yeah, it's so strange. But yeah, that drop, it's just like I said, completely out of nowhere. It's just future bass, and all of a sudden it just sounds like Hush, and there's no turning back. You know, the song doesn't get dark again for a second. There's no dark notes. There's nothing for the rest of the song. It's just all future bass for the rest of the song, and it's just so strange how it changes like that. But I personally think that contrast is really cool, and I like that. I know to you, Xavier, it's anticlimactic, and to me, because I can enjoy that sort of future bass, it's not quite as anticlimactic, and I find the way he did it, though, incredibly strange, also incredibly cool. And Jake sort of sounds like he agrees with me there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened to it first when I got off like the bus and everything, and I was just like walking. And the thing is, the only problem I had with it is the very short build-up that it had, which sounded like it was taken straight out of like a generic rap song, which was like bad. I was like,
Yeah.
oh god,
It was weird.
Is it gonna be one of these kinds of songs? I wasn't that disappointed with the drop. I mean, it sounds like funk or not really Damn-Crank, but Fop Speed. I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that. And what's it called? I like the drop. I don't have a problem with it. It's just the very short build-up that it had.
Yeah, the build-up's like sort of. I don't know. I feel like the song would have been better because it sort of went from having this really, really, really long, like, not build-up, but just like build in intensity. Then it had like the actual build-up, which was sort of the point where future bass started coming in. But the build-up lasted like 5 seconds. It lasted like 3 seconds, and I think it would have been better if the build-up kept that same dark, scary theme, and then it just dropped straight from that dark, instantly into the happy stuff, instead of there being this like 5-second period of transition, which really doesn't work. I don't think. It's weird because it really takes you out of the song. And I know if it was like that jarring, black and white contrast that I was just describing, that would also take you out of the song. But I feel like it'd be cool if it dropped and then like paused for a couple seconds and you're like, is the song gonna, and then it's like future bass. I reckon that would have been a better way to handle it. But it's still fine the way he did it. And as for the drop itself, it's pretty generic future bass. And it has all of those future bass samples that you've heard before, like the smooth bass and the high pitched melodies and all that shit, which Hush seems to use a lot. But as like Hush normally does, he uses those generic sounds, but then he paces them in really good and interesting ways. Has this really cool progression that happens a couple times throughout the drop, where like it starts off really fast, like there's this really fast sort of trap style beat, and there's this melody which starts off fast, and then as it goes it just like slows down, and then it speeds up again and then slows down. And that's really cool. But and the drop has really good drums. It has like a great mix of, low kicks, toms, and high future bass trap / future bass hats, that we all know because we've heard it in every Aero chord song ever. And well, every Aero chord song off Monstercat. And like I mentioned earlier, the pacing is pretty original, and it has some really cool melodies that come in there. But this is one of those drops where I have a pretty hard time putting it into words, because it is changing a whole lot, and it's adding stuff and speeding up and slowing down, and taking shit out. And I really like that, but that does make it hard to describe. And though it does use a lot of, generic future-based sounds, it uses them in an original way, which I like a lot. And that sort of reminds me of the song I Am You by Haywire, where it sounds generic, but it's got an interesting pacing, which makes it...
that song's not generic. I don't think that one's...
Well, like, if you listen to the main sound of the drop of that song,
yeah,
it's a pretty generic future-based sound, but the pace he put it on makes it special.
Everything else is very Haywire-y, and very, very unique.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But this song, I think, other than Halo by Eminence, has the longest build-up in all of Monstercat, I think. I'm not sure. I'm fairly certain. Because I know there's a lot of house songs that have...
Oh, for the love of God.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
Project
I love the
46.
earlier albums. Oh my god, they're awful. But a lot of those songs take like just over 2 minutes to drop. But Halo by Eminence takes... I just listened to it. It takes 3 minutes and 42 seconds to drop. And this
but that
takes,
is with a good level of like that isn't as anticlimactic, and it serves.
Yeah, and that song has like 4 sections before the drop.
It is
and the
so
drop itself,
good.
The drop itself isn't even that good. But but yeah, this song, it's not good, but Mika likes it.
Yeah. So I just heard what you felt about it, but Jake, you like the drop, I assume.
Yes, I just thought of something. I just realized that I can compare it to like like I Am Me, like that. The intro is like I Am Me,
Sorry,
and then
Your audio
entirely
just
cut
cut
out.
out completely.
For that one thing. Could you repeat it?
What I realized is that the intro is really like I Am Me, and then
Oh my
I
god,
feel
it
like
did
it's just
it!
like
It literally
You cut out exactly as you were about to say it
Skype
again.
doesn't want you to say it. It literally did it again as soon as you were gonna say the words.
is it like internet lag?
I
It's
think
just like
probably.
Skype just like turns off for like 2 seconds. Go again.
What I
Third's
realized
the charm.
is that the intro is like I Am Me,
Yeah,
and then I feel like it just cuts straight to I Am You
with the
at
drop.
the drop is what
Yeah,
like the drop to I Am You. It's what I think is what I can compare it to.
yeah. I don't know. They're somewhat similar. But yeah. So that's the first drop after the half the song, which is just spoops. And once the drop ends, we get into a midsection between the two drops, which almost sounds identical to the midsection between the two drops from Tentacle. Like, honestly, it sounds so similar. It almost sounds like it's ripped straight out of that song, just with a different chord progression. It's still a cool sound though. It's one of those very hushy sort of. Really, it's a really short string. I think is what it's on. I think it's a type of string. It's just very short sound. And it's alright. It's cool. But the vocal chop that is saying "Won't you be my baby," which I'm pretty sure that's what it says, is pretty much present throughout this entire future bass section. And I kind of like it. It's okay. It's not that intrusive and it's not that present, so it doesn't really ruin the song, but I don't think it adds much to it. I don't think it makes it better. Do you guys have any feelings about that vocal chop?
It's weird. Very hushy.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's sounds like the one in, I think it's either Tentacle or Morphine. There's one very similar to that. One of those.
Oh, it's Tentacle. It's like is that the one where it's like, I wanna show you off. I wanna take you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, from Tentacle. Yeah, it's a bit like that, but a little less understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, just before we get to the second drop, we get this like sort of 15-second segment where the song is like really, really laid back for a second. And it reminds me kind of a bit of the Dion Customs song Aloha. You know, it's got like got like waves rolling in the background, and it's like quiet, and there's kind of cute chord progression. And then, well, it's actually kind of interesting because this song, in more than just one way, reminds me of Aloha. Because while Aloha's structured differently, Aloha is a future bass song which has really unexpected dark bits which are in it, which is sort of the same as this. Only Aloha just has one of the drops to be really dark and the rest be future bass. It's just the first half is dark and the second half is future bass. But I reckon they're both cool for the very similar reasons. Like, both of them, sort of excluding the dark and original parts, probably wouldn't be that great without them. But with them, it sort of adds a lot of originality and a bit of, flair to the song that would be needed without it. But I reckon it's pretty cool. But, yep. Then with practically no prompting, straight out of that bit, which reminded me of Aloha, there's like a very, very short build-up, which is like 2 seconds long and is basically just the vocal chop, and then we get straight into the second drop. And it's very similar to the first, just with some of the pacing, changed around a little bit, and with some new samples added. Like, it's a sample that's used in a lot of future bass, and I always find it funny. It's like a squeaking bed. And
Yeah,
I've heard it in more than just this. It's a really weird sample, but I've heard it in a lot of recent future bass. It's strange, but yeah, it always makes me laugh a little bit. But like, if I could describe the song quickly, the song feels really in the drop at least. It feels really sporadic. It feels sort of alive and like it's constantly changing, and I find it pretty unpredictable. And it doesn't always do quite what I expect it's going to do when I expect it's going to do it. So I like that. So yeah, I don't know I know that Hush is known for making weird music, but I think this song really takes the cake for that. I don't understand how he thought of this song and why he did it. And how he made these two polar opposite ends of the song kind of work together. But to me, at least, he did, and I like them both a lot, and I think it's a pretty cool song, and I enjoy it. Like, I don't really quite understand the song, but I really like it, and I reckon it's probably his best song. Like, up for debate.
Yes, I would say so.
This and Tentacle are sort of, what I would go between for the best song.
I think it's his worst song.
Damn, you're harsh. What's your favorite of his stuff?
I don't know. It's either Dampering or Tentacle.
Yeah, Tentacle's awesome. Tentacle's really, really good.
Yeah, and Vonk and
Tentacle's like number 3.
Yeah.
And then Dampring's like 2, and then the Eenhoorn's probably like my number 1. Because I've been listening to that the most.
Yeah. Alright, is that all we've got to say on that one?
Yep.
Anyway, we will move on to the next song, which is by Puppet and Peirce Fulton, and it's called Just You. And I'm gonna start off by, I assume, very accurately estimating each of our opinions. Of course I know my own, but I know Xavier's gonna hate it. I know Jake is gonna love it, and I know I'm gonna be sort of in the middle.
I don't even remember what this song sounds like, because I didn't know we were writing notes about this song until 5 minutes ago. So
Jake, was I right? Do you love it?
I'll let you two talk while I listen to it again.
Yeah. Do you love it, Jake?
Yes, me and my girlfriend absolutely love it. But her favorite song is actually Lonesome from Fame. But
well, that's good, because that's a song which is actually good. That's a song which has some good behind it. I like that one.
Really? Yeah, no. It's one of my favorites, too.
It's got DMB. It's DMB, so,
Yeah.
Which song?
Yeah, but this one's probably one of her top favorites.
Lone Song. You like Lone Song, right? Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, when I went into the song, I promised myself I had to not expect another Boy and the Beast, because Boy and the Beast I love so much. It's in my top 5 Monstercat tracks of all time, and I had to make myself not expect that. Right, because I know Peirce Fulton's a generic house producer. I know Puppet's a generic indie dance producer. So I didn't expect them to strike gold again. And lucky I didn't expect that, because this is very much not Boy and the Beast at all. Like, at all. It's one of the most polar opposite songs to Boy and the Beast I can imagine right now. And it's from Puppet's new EP, which is coming out, and it's called, the EP is called Fear is Fleeting, which, unfortunately, the EP consists of 3 of the 5 tracks we've already heard, that have already been on the main album, and there are only 2 that haven't, and this is one of those 2, but I really hate it when artists release albums that they have the majority of the stuff we've already heard. Like, Grabbits did it with his...
Karma Fields did that.
Yes, he did, and Grabbits did that with what was it, Friends EP, I think, which was just...
Because didn't that have Here With You Now on it?
Yeah, it did.
And it was released like almost a year prior.
Yeah, like a year and a half before. It's like, come on. But yeah, this track is one of those 2 new tracks, and it's house. Like, it's labeled as electronic, but I really think of it as house. Which Puppet hasn't done for a while, but he used to do it really well with tracks like The Fire and Scribble and...
How about No Fire? Get it? That sounds terrible.
No Fire's bad, but you probably would prefer it to The Fire now that I think of it.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, this is a very different style of house than what he used to make, though. It's not a style of house I like very much at all. I don't like it as much as I did his other stuff, because his other stuff had quite an electro house vibe to it, whereas this is like guitar. Guitar and a vocal shot, that's basically it. But this song has like an almost overly upbeat and happy feel to me. It's kind of weird, and it's not something you hear often on Monstercat. To me, the feel, it's a bit cheesy to me. That, like, the track has like plenty of use of not heavy, but like of acoustic guitar and vocals, and not much else. I feel like this song could fit really well into like a shallow teen romance film, which I mean, that's not necessarily a criticism. I've seen teen romance films that are really good, but this is this is bad. This is bad. The entire song, like, from start to finish, is just very, very laid back. And that is something which a lot of people will enjoy, I'm sure. And that isn't necessarily meaning the song is worse, but it's something I don't like about it. And, you know, nothing in the song really is very out there at all. It shares the same issue of, like, the low energy levels throughout the entire song that stuff like Hey by Stephen Hawking and Ready to Go last week had. And if you heard my reviews, it was Metropolis by Stephen Hawking had that same issue. It's just the entire song. Yeah.
I need to talk to you about Metropolis, right?
Go.
Because you hate that song.
It's boring, man.
To
It
that song
doesn't
the
do
other day.
anything.
I listened to that song in Light Pollution the other day.
Light
and you like
Pollution's a
Light
lot
Pollution,
better.
and you don't like Metropolis.
Light Pollution's second drop is so good.
How do you... Metropolis Light
Metropolis is
Pollution is
so
absolutely atrocious.
Nah.
Light Pollution is it just sounds like all his early music. It all sounds the same.
But listen to the second drop of Light Pollution. The last drop of Light Pollution.
Metropolis is so much better.
Metropolis is so, like, flat. The entire song just feels like I don't know. Like, there's just, of course, all my reviews are my own opinion. I'm not saying that this is what the song is. It's just what the song feels like to me. From start to finish, it just has the same energy levels. It just, like, it does not pump me up at all. And the drop, like, it doesn't have anything. It's not louder. It's not heavier. I know it's meant to be like a chill dubstep. It's like a chill dubstep song.
Yeah, I like Metropolis.
I don't know. It's not terrible, but it's a bit repetitive.
But the
and
Light Pollution is absolute. It's
that
genuinely.
last drop is so good. It is so good.
I think it might be his worst song on Monstercat, Stephen Hawking.
Really worse than
yes,
Winter?
genuinely. Yeah, worse. Oh, all right. There's 4 tracks. There's 4 tracks. 3 of them are on the Christian Lion EP. They all sound the same, and they're all absolutely terrible. And this is one of them. It's this, Winter, Astronaut Funk. Astronaut Funk is the best out of all of them, but it's
because it has a little bit of that space funk feel.
Some fucking song called like Broken Goggles and something. Yeah, Super Cool and Strong Arm are the 2 good songs in Christian Alliance.
Oh, Super Cool is so good.
Yeah, Super Cool's good, and I like Strong Arm.
Super Cool is super cool.
But Light Pollution is just absolutely terrible.
No.
It's such a horrendous...
Yeah, actually, I don't like Light Pollution. I prefer Metropolis.
Listen to the last drop. Mate, it's so good. Well, agree to disagree on that one. But I'm going to continue emphasizing... I'm going to continue emphasizing my point that this entire song just has very low energy levels in the same way that, to me, Metropolis and Hey and the Faint song... No, not Faint. Who was it?
Yeah, that one.
Ramses B last week. Ramses B song last week. Right, like the entire song was just like the entire way through, and this has the same feeling for me. And I know that's something some people like, just being like sort of carried through the entire song and not really doing anything that outstanding. But I can tell that the way that he did that is very intentional in this song, which is a lot better than the other songs where I feel like they were trying to be a little bit more, out there, but just didn't do it at all for me. So I can forgive this for that a little bit more because I could tell it was trying to do that. But I would still rather personally have this song have, more energy to it. But the vocals in the song, they're pretty okay. They almost sound like they're being whispered. And it doesn't have a vocal credit, so I'm not sure if it's Puppet singing, but I know he has sung in some of his other songs with Eden, but it also might be...
Yeah, no, it was him.
It was him? Alright. Yeah, I think his vocals are pretty alright in this. But yeah, the thing about this song is, but when the drop comes, it's like, it doesn't really feel like anything that much has changed. It's just like, alright, we have the vocal section with the guitar and everything, and then the drop happens, and there's really not much of a build-up, and the drop, like, not enough changes where it feels like a significant separate part of the song. It sort of just feels like the song just keeps flowing forwards, and the drop happens, and it's not very significant, and that's just sort of, like, the biggest issue that I have with these songs that I just described. Well, these songs, the drops in the song, like they are distinguishable as drops because the beat changes and the vocal chops added, but they don't really build up in the song. More just it doesn't really feel that different. As for the drops themselves, they're pretty basic. They are nice. I will say they're nice. It's mainly just a vocal chop and some acoustic guitar. And both of the drops are very similar, either the same or very similar. They're both really upbeat, and I mean, I enjoy them somewhat, but they just feel really tame, and they feel like he played it really, really safe with this song, whereas their last song, Boy and the Beast, was like really out there. That was not playing it safe. This was the complete opposite, and this was just the drops. The vocal chops in the drops pretty good, and the guitar is nice, but when that's all you got, and you've got like a sort of forgettable beat under it, it's not really doing that much for me. But Jake, justify your position. Go.
On what? I wasn't paying attention.
Alright. Tell me, why is it that you like this song?
Just you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, personally, I think it's because, me and my girlfriend, because it makes us, because he talks about how it sounds like a sappy teen romance movie.
I guess that's perfect for that sort of situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then I think it has like a really cute, childish vibe, like Wake Up from Grant.
Yeah.
And
it is a cute
also
song.
Play Pretend.
Bad.
Is also on the
Bad.
It just kind of reminds me of Just You. It
Bad.
feels like a follow up.
Play Pretend's really bad. The vocals in Play Pretend are really, I don't like them at all.
It reminds me of like the filter that World uses on By Design.
Yeah, but By Design was good.
Because it was
Because something actually happened in By Design. But with this song, like with that song,
I feel like it's just a transient track.
It is. It's
like
one of the ambient mid tracks.
yeah.
That's fine. It's unfair to
just
look
like,
at it as its own individual track.
Yeah, I feel like it has to work with
It's
another
part of
track,
the
and I feel like Just You is the one that it goes with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, personally, to me, I've always been a Puppet fan.
I know.
I don't really see any song that I don't like from him, which is weird because I know you guys have like mixed opinions. on it.
Yeah.
Especially Xavier.
I don't think he's mixed. I think he's got a pretty strong opinion.
Yeah, no. It's not mixed at all. Well, but yeah.
But so are you basically saying that a big part of why you like this song is more sentimental than you know?
Yeah, I can emotionally attach to a song.
I get that.
That
That makes sense.
Why I like it.
Yeah, it's like the time I found Timberwolf when I was falling asleep in a car on the way back from, I don't know, someplace I really enjoyed, and now I always associate that song with having heaps of fun at that place and like sitting in that car and thinking, damn, that was a good time. And so that song has somewhat sentimental value, which adds to it and makes it a more enjoyable experience because of where I found it. And so I guess the song probably does the same thing for you in a different way, which is cool. That's good, and I'm happy that you have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xavier, do you have anything much to say on this?
Yes, actually.
Go boy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Here's the thing with Puppet. Right? He makes good music. He
does.
It's good quality, right? But
you don't like
hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hate it. But this track, I don't like this track, but it's probably my favorite Puppet track other than Boy and the Beast. Because
What about his earlier scribble type stuff?
I fucking don't even know what that song sounds like at all.
Sounds like good. It sounds like house. It's just generic house, but it's good generic house.
But
Yeah, it's like Puppet Spin.
Good generic house exists. Yeah, like The Girl and Back to You.
Yeah, there's like 5 good generic house tracks on this.
Exactly.
Not a whole lot. Yeah,
There's
but
a lot of
Puppet,
it.
I just don't like the music.
Yeah. No, Like,
And I really
looking
just
at your
wanna move on to the
personality
next one,
and
'cause I
looking
love
at...
the next one.
Look, what was that, sorry?
You go.
Alright, yeah, just looking at your personality and then looking at Puppet, they are like polar opposite
Yes.
style things. You're like just this, you're just this old grump, you know. And then Puppet's like, let's be all happy and inspire each other and
The world's not shit, am I right?
live in this lovely utopia where everyone loves each other and nothing bad happens ever.
Well, actually, you know what?
Except Boy and the
you know
Beast
what's kinda
happened and
funny?
everyone died.
You know what's funny? In Play Pretend, he does mention in one of the lyrics,
He says bullshit.
in this world full of bullshit. Yeah, in
He
this world
says
full of
bullshit, which is very
So-
edgy. It's very edgy.
What?
Yeah, bullshit. And
Okay.
no. I mean, it kind of contradicts how he. I mean, all of the other things.
Your
I'm like,
audio
yeah,
is
the
cutting
world
Yeah,
is
your audio
great
just cut out
and
again.
stuff.
Could you repeat
And then
that?
he says the world is full of bullshit and terror,
Yeah.
which
Well,
is true.
At least
Very
he's
true.
self-aware. Yeah, he
I
knows.
feel like the
Yeah,
music that more reflects my personality is stuff like The Covenant and like Muzzy stuff.
Yeah. If you
Rather
could
than-
have, all right. We'll do this. If you could have one song which reflects your personality, what would it
I
be?
think it might actually be something like The Covenant.
I
don't
reckon
know.
Neuro.
I'm pulling out
like-
my phone right now.
What about you, Jake?
Because I made a playlist called Top
If I could
30,
make a
but it's
guess
actually
based on what I know
not
about you,
30.
Jake, it would probably be what's the puppet song with the flare?
No, To Be Alive.
Yeah. I'd probably say that.
I mean, it is a puppet song, but it's like, I mean, it's kind of similar. It's the fire, but it's also the Boy and the Beast. But it's like, because I can be kind of bipolar sometimes, so I kind of have the Boy and the Beast, and then the fire. So I'd probably say both of those.
If I could,
Right.
I'd probably be like,
I found some.
I'd probably be like Peacock. Really unpredictable and weird, and sometimes dumb, but also kind of funny.
Sometimes.
Peacock is good though.
Peacock is a
good.
great song. That is an outstanding.
I just like
song.
I only like the beginning. I only like it for the beginning, but it's pretty good all the way through. It's just a little
Yeah.
repetitive, just a little bit, but the intro is what.
Wait. Oh! Wait. Did you just
say
say that
Peacock's repetitive?
Peacock's repetitive?
It's just a little bit. I mean, it's just. I don't know. After
Let
hearing
him
the
defend
intro,
himself,
then
Mika.
I think you've.
I don't-
It's like.
I'm glad
like,
Pete's not here today.
It's like he would tear you.
But I like it
Sold
though.
you.
But I like it though. It's.
No, it's good. But it's sort of like you saying that makes me think of like a really skinny nerdy guy walking into like a bar full of bikers. That song's not repetitive. You're wrong. Okay, moving on. When I say that we're moving back to the Papa song though. When I say that this song is
Oh
laid
my god.
back, I really do mean it's laid back. There isn't a single loud or dark note in this song. It's just like I said.
Yeah,
the song I
the
feel
bar on
like.
the visualizer doesn't like go up at all.
What do you mean? Sorry, what?
The bar on the visualizer in the YouTube video, it like just doesn't move
Ah, yeah.
on the channel.
Yeah. It's like it's in the middle the whole time. It's I imagine a lot of people are really going to enjoy this song. And to me, I feel like it's pretty nice and it has an okay feel to it, and the guitar's nice. But to me, it's just a bit too basic and overly upbeat for me to really dig it. And so I'm like, if I was rating the song like purely on opinion, I'd give it like a 4, just because it's I enjoy bits of it and there are parts of it I like, but it just doesn't really mesh with my sort of music style. But I still respect it. I still feel like the people who made it put some pretty good effort in, and the guitar playing's really nice and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, anything else to say, boys?
No.
Meh. All right. Today's last track on the podcast is going to
It's
be...
a hot.
Yeah, it is a hot. I agree.
It's best track of the week.
Yes. Well,
It's actually really good.
what released
Actually,
this week?
I think this might be my favourite track of 30 so far.
Not quite. I don't really know. Probably
And
not.
we've only had like
Episode of the
7
Past
releases.
is my
this week.
favorite so far.
But the song that we're talking about right now is Pixel by Tokyo Machine. And we've already talked about Tokyo Machine a little bit on the show. If I can remember correctly, we all like him.
Yes.
And we all really liked his most recent release, Fight.
He's the best new artist of 2016, I reckon.
One of. Well, like, he's one of the only artists that's released enough to sort of show that he's not just a one-hit wonder. Like, if Amon released 3 tracks as good as Kuro... Sorry, if Kuro released 3 tracks as good as Amon, I'd be like, alright, you're the best. But I don't really know as of now. And Tokyo Machine has released 4 tracks which are all good and all have a distinct style and all
They're
work
all
together.
amazing. I love them. Like, I usually hate 8-bit chiptune stuff in electronic music.
But the contrast in his music is so
And there's
good.
like, other than Tokyo Machine, there's one chiptune song I've found ever that I like. But his stuff's just like, oh, it's sick. Because it's like
so
bass
cool.
house, kind of. He had a trap song, and then like 2 bass house songs, and a song that is like really heavy electro.
Yeah, it's
And
sort of
I
like if
love
Halo
really
Nova
heavy
was done
electro.
well. Is what he makes me think of. Like, it's not as heavy as Halo Nova, but it's sort of like that similar contrast between like video game 8-bit sounding stuff and
Well,
like,
his style's very Japanese. It's not just video
It
game.
is, yeah, it's a bit
very
weird.
Japanese. He's got like actual Japanese people speaking
Yeah, vocal
his songs
chops.
and shit. And he speaks Japanese, I'm fairly certain.
Mm.
So, yeah.
But yeah, his contrasting style of heavy and like really light tones is really cool. And the name of this song being Pixel is very fitting as it's got that Nitro Fun type 8-bit chiptune sound set, and I reckon it's definitely his most 8-bitty sounding, of all his songs. Which, it's not, like you said, it's not normally a thing I really like, but it just works really well, Tokyo Machine, and I really enjoy it. And this is Bass House, very similar to his first track, which was Party. They're both Bass House. Well, they're not really similar songs, but like same genre.
I think they're actually very similar, these 2 tracks.
I don't know, this isn't as like directly obviously Bass House. This is a little more, because I don't know, it's got a breaks beat, or at least Pete's told me it's got a breaks beat. I'm not going to argue with him about it because he knows the shit when it comes to breaks. I can't really hear it, to be honest, but I mean, I'm going to take his word for it. So it's got a breaks beat, and but it's got like Bass House sounds.
Yeah,
but it's also got trap elements, like the build-up's very trappy. But yeah, the song, it's, I think of all of the, like, off-drop parts of his songs, because his songs always, to me, almost feel like 2 different songs, he's got the drops, which are very different to the off-drops, and, though the drop of this song is my favorite of his drops, this is my favorite of his off-drop, parts. This, like, the 8-bit parts of the song just have a really high energy and a really awesome combo of trap and breaks beats and stuff, and it's really, I don't know, it's just, this song does a great job of getting me pumped up and in a really cool, upbeat, pumpy way, and not, like, upbeat in the same way as the last song, upbeat in a very different, very, exciting and energizing way, which this song does really well.
It sounds like Party Part 2.
Yeah,
I think it really does. Because it's
describable,
Bass House, and on his Twitter, when he uploaded the preview of it, there's like 2 characters talking, and they're talking about going to a party, and then the drop happens.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah, but so do you guys think that this is the best of his non-drop stuff?
I'm not sure. Honestly.
I really like Okay.
Yeah, Okay.
Pixel's
Okay's probably my favorite of his songs overall.
I like all the drops. I like the intro. I mean, it's a little annoying, the first and second drop, but it kind of reminds me of Jaws. And then the third drop is my favorite because it's like the most bass house.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
the
sure.
third drop is amazing.
The third drop is awesome.
Oh my god.
Wait, are we talking about this or Okay right now?
Pixel.
Pixel.
Awesome,
But
yep.
Okay is
Okay is
really
great
good,
too.
too.
But as for the drop of the song, for the first and second drops, I feel a
They're kind of
little
repetitive.
let down. Like, they're not quite as good as the rest of the song. The first drop is pretty damn repetitive. It's fast and it's cool, and it has some awesome mixes of 8-bit stuff and bass house notes. But as soon as it starts getting really high pitched and but towards the end of it, the drop almost starts sounding like a build up with the main sound building in pitch. And that's sort of the point where like, all right, I'm out. I don't hate this drop by any means, but I definitely this drop is definitely not his best work, and it's probably my least favorite part of the song. The second drop is really, really similar to the first. It has, the same pacing and the same layout of pretty much everything. It has the same beats and everything. But everything's the same except the main bass house notes are a bit lower pitched, which, makes it better. I prefer it like that. And this second drop, it really does feel more like a continuation of the first drop than like two separate drops, because it happens literally like 6 seconds after the first one ends, the second one starts. So it's a bit like Heist. But which of these two drops, if you can even tell them apart because they're so similar, do you prefer, guys?
I'm not sure. They're very equal, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like it in songs when they have, the Nemesis does this as well, and yeah, like they have a drop, and then they have like no cooldown to the second drop, and then the second drop's just kind of the first drop, but a little different.
Yeah.
And then they have like a cooldown segment that lasts like 40 seconds, and then they have a third drop that's like completely, fucking ridiculous. And
like the best.
Like that.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
It's better than if it only had 2 drops.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it as much. It probably would have been like my third, like my number 3 spot.
For Tokyo Machine songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one, between the second and third drop, there's another really awesome 8-bit part. And then we get to, I think all 3 of us have agreed, the best part of the song, which is the third drop. And this part is really, 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 really cool.
It's just the beat. It's just all it is just like a simple beat change.
Well, there's 2 large changes, right? The first change, like you mentioned, is the beat. It goes from just being sort of like a hit, and all the other stuff to being a proper break speed. Like
it goes to a proper bass house beat.
Sounds a bit like drumstick.
It's bass house. I'm listening to it right now.
Does bass house have its own specific beat?
No, kind of. It
or
kind
is
of
it,
does, because
is it the beat that sort of sounds like trance?
The 2 defining features of bass house is like the main noise that's used.
Yep.
It has to sound like really, really heavy electro bassy noise.
Mm-hmm.
And the beat, because the beat is always just, it's like a bit faster than average.
Yeah, alright, I gotta go find what you're talking about.
Because if you listen to any bass house song, the beat's always the same, and it's always fast, and that's why I love it so much, because I love fast beats. Yeah. So I think the first 2 drops in this song are breaks, and then the third drops bass house.
Yeah.
Out of all three of the drops, I feel like the third is like the most likely one I could really headbang to, because it's like it's got the beat, and then like the first 2 really don't really focus on the beat. It's got the beat in the background, but it doesn't have it as strongly as the third drop.
Yeah, the third drop's better. It does have a better beat. The beat's better. And the other big drop, the other big change of the third drop is that the main sound of the drop is slowed down quite a bit, which is not normally a plus in my mind to have it be slower, but here it's, I don't know, it works a lot better. It feels like, even though I feel like it doesn't actually, I don't think like the artist done this maybe intentionally, but it does feel like the pacing is a bit better. Just because it's slowed down, it feels like a little more glitchy, and there is more room for him to sort of fuck with it and give like little bits of glitchiness in there. Stuff which is always cool, always good. But this third drop, I'd say, is just it works a lot better. It's more pacey, it's more drivey, because it's slower than the other drops, which is strange. Yeah, I don't normally prefer it slower, but it just works a lot better here. And I assume you guys sort of feel similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just exactly summed up my feelings.
Exactly. Yeah. Jake. You like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really, really good. But to wrap up, this song, I don't think it's his best song by far. It's like the first 2 drops are just not quite good enough, and it's a bit too repetitive. And the build-up style parts of the second and the first drops I genuinely don't like that at all. I find that bit's really bad. But almost besides the first and second drop, the rest of the song is great. It's outstanding. And the song, like I said, has the best 8-bit sections for me. And the third drop is just really, really great. But yeah, it's just a damn awesome song.
Yeah.
Like
this song, it reminds me It reminds me of Colossus by Droptech, where it doesn't, because it doesn't try anything new. It's just kind of more of the same, but it's more of the same but done really well. So it's just like a really, really good track.
Yeah, Colossus is cool, and this is cool.
Colossus is fucking great.
I thought you were saying they like sounded similar. I was like,
Nah.
But yeah, is that all we got to say on that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighto then. We are gonna move on to the second segment of the podcast, which is the news. And unfortunately, we don't have Pete here today to make it bearable, so we're gonna have to sit here and listen to Jake tell us things.
Stinky little Jake boy.
Yeah, stinky little poo.
Alright. I've got a couple things, not a lot, sadly, but I got a couple things.
Maybe I can help out in the news.
Alright, okay. The first one is from Dion Timmer. He said on Twitter, special announcement in a bit. I don't know what that is.
I don't care what
I don't
that
have
is.
any. Yeah, I don't think anybody was. I don't think anybody is. So Eminence tweeted out something that said, they said huge release soon. Can you guess where? And then it showed like a little picture of an email from like a record label and said they love the track and they asked if they could sign it. Definitely not Monstercat.
Oh my god, Jake, I'm sorry, you just cut out again. they love what?
No! I don't. Alright, so I don't.
Even Skype doesn't want you doing the news, Jake. Even Skype doesn't want you.
Yeah, it's never. Alright. So it's definitely not Monstercat because if you see it, it's like the name of the record label's blurred out, but I think it's Wall Recordings. I can see like a W in the in like the blurred out name, and then it says
it's just Monstercat but upside down.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely not a space in between, but there's not. It's not 2 words. It's not 2 words. It's definitely 1 word.
Right.
But yeah, it says they love the track and they asked if they could sign it. So yeah, that's a thing. Next, Trivecta announced that his track Shatterpoint will be out on the 16th of January on Monstercat.
Trivecta's so good.
16th of January, that is a long way away.
That is. That's nearly the end of the holidays.
Gee, yeah.
That'll be like near the end of the album, probably. Yeah. Or at least, what?
In the hashtags, it says electronic, dubstep, future bass, vibes, Monstercat. I don't know.
Probably just put like future bass and dubstep in there just so that people could see it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely future bass.
Why
would Trivecta do future bass?
You don't think it's going to be Wi-Fi Tears by Trivecta?
I would think it's a continuation of his beginning dubstep, and then the future bass is just a little trending tag. All right, next up, 7 Minutes Dead. He tweeted out. He said, "Getting so very wait, that's a very bad grammar. All right, a very bad grammar, man." He said it's getting very close to ready. He's got stuff ready. Yeah. And Going Quantum replied, also saying my body is ready too. So very excited.
My body is ready.
Something
well, the thing about it is, if he finishes his track, that doesn't mean the song's gonna come out soon, though.
Yeah. And then
curious about what?
Next, something nobody cares about. Draper EP, 13th January. Nobody cares.
Yeah, don't care.
All right, next.
No.
Yeah, and then Monstercat posted a preview of the Peg Warner DP. They played all of these songs on the EP, like little previews, and then they showed the album art for the Nerds by Nature EP. And
awesome! Yeah, definitely link that. I would love to hear them. What have you heard them?
Yeah, it's really good. Especially Melody Mania. It's really good.
So I know there's a Neuro track.
Hang on, are all the tracks out? Are there all the tracks out?
No, just previews.
There's like leaks and previews. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Apparently, Disconnected VIP is going to be on there. I've heard.
Yeah, that's also something that I wanted to mention.
I've heard that, and it's not. I've heard a little bit of that from one of their concerts. It sounds horrific. Just a
wasn't that in like a Nerds by Nature thing like months ago?
Yeah. It was.
And that was
There's
that
I
was
have
back
the
around the time of
picture.
Get On Up, I think.
Damn, that's ages ago.
Yeah, I think so. I'm fairly certain it was like ages ago. And we heard like a snippet of... Yeah, because all it was we heard the vocal chop from Disconnected and then just some shitty dubstep that sounded like Weaponized or something. So hopefully that's not what the VIP is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I will definitely be checking out the Nerds by Nature previews because I'd love to. Do you know how many tracks?
It's right there.
On
I'm pretty sure it's like 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure it's like I think it's 6.
Ooh,
If they include the VIP,
that is a good amount.
I'm pretty sure that ended to 6.
nice.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
That's
Peace.
it for news. Peace. Right.
Yeah.
Is that all we got? That all the gots for today?
All the gods.
Xavier, did you say something about
So-
having anything?
What?
Did you say you had any news to talk about?
No.
Oh, alright. Okay, that's gonna move us on
We're doing
to,
the RNG thing?
yes! It's gonna move us on to
Well,
the...
we should do my wallpaper thing, Mika.
Yes! Alright, we're gonna move on to the next track of
Oh,
the
next segment.
Yep, the next segment, which is the Monstercat track of the day. And that is going to be, because Pete's not here, we're going to have to do it a little bit differently, but luckily enough, Xavier is so kind to have
My
his desktop...
my background on my desktop background is all 28, not 29, but all 28 albums shuffled, and they change every hour. So at the moment it's on 17. So I'll click, what is it? Next desktop background, and the album that we're getting. 11.
Oh dear. Alright, right.
11
Oh,
is
shit, I
awful.
completely forgot I was meant to go to the RNG thing for the number, wasn't I? Okay. Scheiße. RNG, I don't know why I just swore
I
in
can
German.
get there
It's like I was trying to censor myself.
before you-
Alright. So, how many songs are on 11? Is it...
20.
Alright,
20.
1, 2, 20,
Oh, and I'll
it's
check what the actual song is. on my phone.
17.
Number 17.
So-
Alright, that's
Be
not
walkers so I can yell at
Skype.
Xavier.
Oh, fuck off. I think Walkers is like 11 or something on there. Oh, Harmony by Verstone.
Oh,
Which
Oh,
is a
wow.
good...
we were talking about that one earlier, weren't we? I
Yeah.
have not heard it in a million years. Let's see what it's like. I cannot remember.
It's not terrible.
Is it generic
doesn't
house?
have any vocals at all. Yeah, but it's like kind of good. Yeah,
Right.
it's good.
Let's
I had only listened to it in that Vice Tones pick where you like they kind of took over the Monstercat
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, I remember
They had
that.
that as the intro.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the only. And I didn't really pay attention to it because I actually put it on mute because I was like, oh god. But that's only because I didn't really like generic house. But I'll take a listen to it. I'll be open minded.
The build-up's very long, but the drop,
It's 6 minutes.
it's
No.
pretty generic.
it
but it's
is.
not terrible.
The intro, yeah.
It's very
The
generic.
intro is
It's not good.
Yeah, but it's not terrible.
But I like the bass. I like the bass when the bass comes in at 1.
And that's it.
It's better than Grunt.
No, it's not better than Grind.
Oh, fuck off.
Grind is good. This is not good. I don't like this. This is generic.
I mean, for its time though,
For it- yeah,
because
yeah,
it was
you're right.
2012.
For a
For
2012
its time in
house track.
2012,
Yeah, considering that it's on
it's
11.
kind of good.
Because 11 is pretty bad.
I've heard
Even though-
worse. Cough, cough, limitless. But I've heard better. Cough, cough. The Stonebank song from this week. But I guess that was Deep House, which isn't even fair to compare, is it? But
It's not Deep House.
what the new Stonebank song?
Yeah, it's not Deep House.
Oh, well, it's Future House, Deep House.
No, you're all completely wrong, Mika.
What?
It-
It's
It's
something
not
like
Deep
that.
House!
Sorry.
No. It's not Deep House.
It's similar. It's got that sound to it in the
Hang on.
drop. What genre is it then? Just
House.
house. Just house.
Yeah, just like standard, same old, generic house, but like not
But
the worst thing you've
not
ever heard in your
Hellberg.
life. Yeah, basically.
Whatever it is, it's good. Alright, we're gonna move on to the last segment of today, and my favourite
I've
segment.
been waiting for this one.
I'm not sure if it's everyone else's favourite segment, but it's my favourite segment. It is the non-Monstercat track of the day. And it's not going to be a massive album like it was last week, so you're not going to have to dedicate your whole life to listen to it. We're going to start off with me, and this is the segment where we recommend a song or up to 4-track EP that's not on Monstercat that we'd like you to listen to. We give it a little description, we say why we like it, why we want to listen to it, and we want you to go down in the comments, tell us how you feel about it, and suggest a track you want me to listen to, and if I like it enough, I might just talk about it in this segment the week after. Speaking of liking it enough, last week, on the podcast, which I uploaded last night, which I probably should have uploaded sooner than then, but I got a suggestion from a guy to listen to a song which I've completely forgotten the name of, and I'm gonna have to go find. What was his name? It was Bacon something. The commenter. It was Bacon Breath. That's your name. And you left this comment which suggested me to check out this song, which I am currently finding. And I just remember really liking it, and it reminded me of Culprit quite a bit. It's just this very, it's sort of like progressive house, because it sort of just adds to itself and doesn't really do much else. But it's just this really great, it makes me think of, direct style of, I think the genre's Dark Garage is the genre he makes. It was quite like that, but a little more simple and repetitive, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I'm just finding the thing right now. And the song is called, where is it at? It was from an album, by a guy called Audeka, from an album called Lost Souls, and Audeka, I think, is an artist who might be coming on Monstercat. I've heard someone say something about that, but I could be really wrong, so if I'm really wrong, I'm sorry. But the song is called, if I can just quickly go and find the track list, Audeka, Lost Souls. The song is called, if I go to videos, the song is called Lost Love by Audeka, and I just found it on, the label's called Inspector Dubplate. Bad label, but a really good song. And it's got a really cool chill thing, great emphasis on beat, and just really chill, laid back, really glitchy and awesome. Please check it out. Thank you, Bacon Breath, for suggesting it to me. What's your full name? It's Bacon Breath on YouTube, M8. Thank you for suggesting that for me last week, and yeah, it's a great song. Really enjoyed it. Jake, tell us, what is your non-Monstercat track of this week?
It was originally, I forgot that the EP were gonna have to be 4 tracks, but I found a 7-track EP from Slushii that was called Brain Freeze. I really liked it. But I have to not choose that, and I'll just choose his most recent single. Well, I mean, I like both his most recent single, Morphine, and then his Brain Freeze EP.
Alright, tell us about Morphine.
The Brain Freeze EP has lots of cool stuff. It has chill stuff, really chill stuff.
By Slushii, really?
It has a little bit of stuff that leads into his future-based stuff, but not really. But not entirely. And then there's one track that is really cool because it's like it has 2 dubstep drops and then like a hardstyle drop, but it's like a good hardstyle,
right.
Which I know it's hard to believe.
No, I've heard good hardstyle. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's that one's probably one of my favorites. But and then also the single I was gonna use was also really chill. Yep. But yeah, lots of chill stuff.
Awesome. So what's the single called?
Morphine.
And so yeah.
Would you do either the EP or the single?
Yeah, just listen to one of those.
I do either.
I've heard good things about it. And hopefully it's not all like Slushii's emptiness, because that was terrible.
Yeah, no, it's not
not like that.
Maybe one, but not that much.
And Xavier, what is your thingo?
Oh!
Is it from Endo? Oh. Tell me, first off.
No, it's not Neurohop.
Is it based
Last week... Fuck off. Last week, when I was trying to find the album that I wanted to talk about, I talked about Anti-Crystal by Sakuraburst.
Yes,
Anti-Crystal EP. And while I was trying to find it on YouTube, which I couldn't, I found another EP by Sakuraburst, which within about 2 days is now like my favourite Non-Monstercat album, like fucking ever.
It's so cool.
So good. It's only 4 tracks and they're like 3 minutes long each, and it's called the Blood Orange EP.
It's got like really, really cool. Like I can't remember it that well, but doesn't it have like lots of like Asian influences and stuff.
Yes. I'll look it up. Now, the first track is the best track. It's called Forest of Spirits, and it's like ambient and shit, and then the drop's like chill step kind of, but then the second drop's like heavy electro. It's so cool. And then the second track is just like really weird and trappy, and then the third track is it reminds me of I Am Me. It's like a really good intro, even though it's not actually an intro. It's the third track, and then the last track, called Blood Orange, only has 1 drop, and I think it's breaks, but it's really good. And it's just so fucking cool. I'll send you.
Yeah, I can second you. I can second you on how good that is. Everyone, go down to the description, check that out. That is a great EP, and listen to it. Tell us how you think about it, and tell me something I want to listen to, because it's some good shit. Anyway, I think that brings us to the end of today's podcast. I would like to thank Xavier for being on the podcast. I would like to thank Jake, maybe a little bit, for being on the podcast, but not too much. I'd like to thank myself a whole lot for being on the podcast. I'd like to thank you guys for listening. And right after this finishes, I want you to go down to the comments. I want you to tell us how you feel about the songs we suggested. I want you to tell us about the songs that we talked about today. You know, spread the love. Tell us what you hate. Tell us what you love. You know, all that good shit. I want to know, and I will reply to all of the comments. But as of now, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.